This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Good morning. The time right now is 4:27 here. It is Wednesday morning, and I'm Lauren Casey. Thanks for joining us on Good Morning Indiana. We want to take a look at the COVID cases in the state of Indiana. We always get these updated numbers around the noon lunch hour, so we know the total positive cases in Indiana has reached more than 21,000. The new cases as of yesterday, 541. We are reporting new deaths, 62 deaths yesterday, but some of those numbers may be a little confusing because we know the governor mentioned that some of the deaths date back as far as March, so they don't necessarily happen the day that they're reported. They're always gathering that information from counties around the state, so we'll kind of break that down a little bit more for you. But we also know that the total deaths in our state since this began has reached more than 1,200, and more than 115,000 Hoosiers have been tested for the coronavirus so far. We'll break down these numbers and what they mean as our state looks to rebound out of this pandemic. We'll have all of that coming up. Another story we'll have for you today has to do with hiring Hoosiers. We know several thousand Hoosiers are out of work right now. People all across the country are unemployed, and so we're connecting you to job resources through our Hiring Hoosiers initiative. So one of those resources we're going to talk about today is a virtual job interview sort of prep before you do any of those job interviews. We know normally you go in person to do an interview, so doing an interview virtually over Zoom or any type of other device, it can be a little bit different than being there in person. So if this is through LinkedIn, and they'll have some tips to help you out and help you land that job. We'll also go through a list of open jobs, places that are hiring here in central Indiana right now. That's all coming up in Hiring Hoosiers. For now, let's take a turn right now to our forecast. Todd Clausen is standing by from home. And Todd, yesterday was such a yucky day, not what we want in the month of May, but what can we expect as we head into our Wednesday?
You know, there is improvement today. That is the good news, Lauren, in the sense that, one, we get the sunshine back, and with that sunshine, we also get some warmer temperatures. Now, this morning, as you walk out the door, it is chilly. There is no warmth out there whatsoever. Temperatures sit at 39 in Logansport, 41 in Bloomington, 42 in Muncie, and there's still a few very spotty, lingering showers here across parts of the area. But as we go throughout the morning hours, we'll lose the clouds. We'll get the sunshine this afternoon, and then as soon as we get into that sunshine, that's when temperatures are going to take a nice jump forward. We'll be pretty slow and stagnant with the temperatures here this morning, but once we get into that sunshine, a big temperature jump, eventually a high rate around 60, which I know is still below normal, but it's a step in the right direction after yesterday. And then eventually tomorrow, high temperatures could get close to 70 degrees. We'll talk more about that extended forecast for you coming up in just a little bit.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Coming up here in part of our We're Open Indy series, we're looking at companies that are still open to serve you during this pandemic so that you can support local small businesses. So today I talked to the owner of Bonsai Balloons here in Indianapolis about what this pandemic has been like for them. Obviously, they decorate for conventions and other events, so things have changed, but they've actually seen a boom in business. That story plus news, weather, and traffic coming up on Good Morning Indiana.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
This is a marathon, not a sprint. So we need you to continue to be vigilant as we start to reopen things.
Well, now at 4:30 on Good Morning Indiana, state health leaders remain cautiously optimistic moving forward with reopening Indiana despite a major jump in COVID-19 cases. Working for you, the message Governor Holcomb has for Hoosiers. Plus, President Trump preparing to phase out the coronavirus task force, why he says the move is necessary, and what's next for the country. And Hiring Hoosiers is helping you to get back to work as our country works to rebound from the coronavirus pandemic. Working for you this morning, tips on how to nail your virtual job interviews that are becoming part of our new normal. But before we get to our top stories today, I want to thank you for joining us on Good Morning Indiana here on our Wednesday. I'm Lauren Casey. Todd Clausen is standing by from home today. And Todd, what can we expect in our forecast? We know it's kind of a chilly start to our Wednesday.
It is chilly out there, but we're going to expect a decent day. I don't want to say it's a great day because we're still going to be running about 10 degrees below normal temperature-wise, Lauren, across the area. And speaking of temperatures this morning and the chill that you referred to, we're in the 30s and 40s right now. 39 in Greenfield is 36 in Richmond. 40 is the current temperature in Indy, and 41 is the current temperature as you make your way into the Bloomington area. So it is chilly, and there's a few very, very spotty lingering showers still over on the east side of the state to Richmond, and as you work your way into the Bedford area. But the overall trend here throughout the course of the morning hours will be for the clouds to depart or thin out and work some sunshine into the forecast. You'll probably have to be patient for that to happen, but eventually we will get there. And once we do get into the sunshine, temperatures will start to moderate pretty quickly. And we'll jump to the 7-day forecast here for you. And you notice temperatures do moderate, 65 on Thursday, and then a little cooler as we head into Mother's Day weekend. We'll dive into that Mother's Day weekend forecast in more detail for you coming up in just a little bit. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Now we want to get to the very latest on the coronavirus in Indiana. This is the latest information from the State Department of Health. So far, more than 115,000 people in Indiana have been tested for COVID-19, and more than 21,000 have tested positive. As of this morning, there are about 1,213 reported deaths in our state. That's an increase of 62 reported deaths compared to that on Monday, and an increase of more than 500 cases. Now, some of those new deaths reported on Tuesday date as far back as March. So when asked about the spike in numbers, Governor Holcomb said the state is still in good shape to take care of sick patients.
Kind of North Star was to make sure that we had the resources available to care for those who needed, that were in need of that care. And we've had that. You report our 80% plus or our 44-45% in terms of vents and ICU beds that are available, that hospitalization rate, what type of runs are we taking? And so we've got that in place. If that becomes jeopardized, we will reassess.
You can find extensive data on things like the state's hospitalization rate on the Regan Street Institute website. You can find a link on our website, theindychannel.com. And this morning, Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett and the Marion County Public Health Department will give an update on the COVID-19 restrictions. The county's stay-in-place order is in effect through May 15th. Leaders are scheduled to speak at 10:30. Look for live coverage right on the RTV6 mobile app. Meanwhile, in Washington, President Trump is preparing to wind down the White House's coronavirus task force and replace it with another group that's focused on safety and reopening our country. The move is drawing some criticism from some health experts that say COVID-19 cases are expected to continue rising. ABC's Alex Perche has more.
Touring a facility that makes those critical N95 masks, President Trump pitching his case for reopening the country.
We can't keep our country closed for the next 5 years.
Of the 38 states now easing restrictions, cases are on the rise in at least 19. The president sitting down with ABC's David Muir about the possibility of more death due to reopening.
It's possible there will be some because you won't be locked into an apartment or a house or whatever it is, but at the same time, we're going to practice social distancing.
President Trump also defending his move to wind down his coronavirus task force and touting testing availability for returning workers.
If they want to get tested to see if they've been exposed to the virus, they can have access to both the antibody tests.
No problem.
His optimism in contrast to warnings in two new analyses. One from Johns Hopkins reports the daily death rate could double by June. The other from the University of Washington that with premature openings, the number of deaths could increase to nearly 135,000 by August 4th.
These models have been so wrong from day one.
Washington State began opening parks and golf courses Tuesday. Texas is opening some personal service businesses. Still, a new Washington Post University of Maryland poll shows Americans overwhelmingly oppose the reopening of restaurants, retail stores, and other businesses. New York's governor remains cautious despite the hurt to the economy.
How much do we think a human life is worth?
The president was also asked about unemployment. One of his advisors is projecting it to hit 19%. The president continuing to say that we're going to have a strong third quarter. New unemployment numbers are out tomorrow. Alex Perche, ABC News, Washington.
It is 4:36. Back here at home under phase 2 of Indiana's reopening plan, many businesses are welcoming in customers for the first time in more than a month, and that includes a woman running a Zionsville boutique. Southern Fancy Boutique is taking all the precautions to keep customers safe. That means limiting the number of people who can be inside the store at one time, making sure the store is sanitary, and actually steaming the clothing after people try it on. The store's owner says customers seem just as excited about the reopening as she is.
I think that everybody is excited that we can come back to something that's going to be our new normal. And I know the individual stores here on the Brick Street are all family owned. and it's probably been more of a challenge for them than some of the big box stores.
Feels great. Feels great. It's weird, but we're ready to be back.
For shoppers who may not be ready to brave the crowds just yet, Southern Fancy also offers curbside pickup and online shopping. In Marion County, the original farmers market at City Market is set to open today. It will open every Wednesday through October from 9:30 a.m. until 1:30 p.m., but there will be a few changes. There will be no prepared food. All items sold will be pre-packaged and labeled according to federal guidelines. No home vendors will be on site, and live entertainment will be temporarily suspended. There will also be signage to help maintain social distancing. You're encouraged to bring your own masks and gloves. Well, hiring Hoosiers is helping you get back to work as our country works to rebound from this coronavirus pandemic. Video interviews, they're becoming the new normal, and now there's a tool aimed at helping you ace that interview. It's an instant feedback feature through LinkedIn. You can find it under the interview prep in the jobs section of that website. The tool has some common interview questions, and it allows you to record yourself answering them, and then you'll get real-time feedback on your response.
Things like buzzwords that you might want to weed out, or if you have any ums and ahs and thes that you want to finesse to really crisp your message and make it clear.
Career experts also say you should prepare for virtual job fairs by highlighting soft skills like communication and collaboration. For more job search tips and to learn more about virtual job fair opportunities and companies that are hiring right now, just head to hiringhoosiers.com. We're learning more details about a deadly police chase that spanned multiple counties. Straight ahead, the new information investigators are releasing this morning. And with millions of Americans out of work, the federal government is offering some tools to help. Coming up, what homeowners and student loan borrowers need to know to stay afloat during the coronavirus pandemic. Todd.
And Lauren, the regional temperature map has a lot more of a winter-like feel than it does a spring or May-like feel, with temperatures in the 30s, 40s, and the 50s. The good news is we do get slightly warmer as we get into the afternoon hours. We'll talk more about that and look ahead to your Mother's Day weekend coming up in your Storm Team 6 forecast. The time now is 4:39. You're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on RTV6.
Days from 4:30 to 7.
Welcome back. The time right now is 4:42. Here's a live look right now in the downtown area at I-65 and I-70 at the North Split, where traffic is moving along just fine. Keep in mind, we do still have I-70 closed between the North Split and the East Side in both directions. That will last throughout this entire week, so keep that in mind as you're heading out on the roads for your commute. Some new details this morning as we know now the identity of a suspect who was killed in a police chase. This spanned 50 miles. It started Tuesday around noon with a stolen police cruiser in Hamilton County, ending with a crash in Montgomery County. This is the aftermath, a picture from the Crawfordsville Journal-Review. The Noblesville Police Department say that an off-duty officer was flagged down to help with an investigation involving the suspect, identified as 45-year-old Edward Albright, and a woman who were arguing. The officer, who was with her father, got out of the vehicle to help. Investigators say Albright then confronted the officer and her father, battered them, and sprayed them with some sort of chemical substance. We're told that he then took off in the officer's car and later stole another person's car. That's when this lengthy chase began. Police say that Albright drove from State Road 37 to I-69 in Fishers and then went south on 465 all the way through the Castleton area. He then went west around 465 around the loop all the way to I-74. Officers say he kept going until the pursuit ended with a multiple vehicle crash all the way out in Montgomery County near I-74 and State Road 32. You can see the map there. The Montgomery County Sheriff's Office says that Albright was killed in the wreck. The off-duty officer and her father were treated at the hospital and were released. The owner of the other stolen vehicle was treated at the scene and is expected to be okay. Pharmaceutical giant Pfizer and a German biotechnology company have started human testing in the United States for an experimental coronavirus vaccine. The Joint Global Vaccine Development Program is called BNT-162. The testing of U.S. participants follows testing done in Germany last week, but it's not the only potential COVID-19 vaccine program this far advanced. Back in April, scientists at Oxford University in the UK started testing a possible vaccine on humans, and in March, the National Institutes of Health also started testing in humans, becoming the very first to do so. Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg is recovering from an operation on her gallbladder. The 87-year-old was hospitalized on Monday after outpatient tests found a gallstone was causing an infection. Ginsburg participated in the first ever Supreme Court telecom conference oral arguments from home on Tuesday, but then she later went to the hospital for the treatment. The court's spokesperson says she is expected to be back at work this morning to take part in oral arguments via video from the hospital. Everyone needs something super right now, so Mother Nature is serving up a supermoon. So to see it, you need to set your alarm for 6:45 Thursday morning. Tune in to see us. That's when you can see the last supermoon of the year. This particular moon is called the flower moon, which makes sense considering how much is in bloom right now. Other names include the corn planting moon or the milk moon. The moon will appear full until Friday morning. And that will all depend on clear skies, so let's check in with our forecast for the rest of the week. Todd, good morning.
Yeah, good morning there, Lauren. As we get into Friday morning, we're going to be seeing the clouds increase, but Thursday should be completely clear. So it may not quite be full, but still impressive. Thursday is probably your best bet to see that. All right, as we get into the forecast here this morning, we're starting off with fairly quiet conditions on Storm Team 6 radar. Yesterday, we had the showers that were around off and on throughout the day, and we still have a couple out there lingering with some cloud cover. We'll take you over to the eastern side of the state, Richmond, much of Wayne County, seeing some light showers, and a few extend westward back towards the Newcastle area. And look at that, right across the state line, mixing in a few flurries there near the Dayton area. As we go to the south, little band of rain between Bloomington and Bedford, pushing into the Seymour area. And that's really just about it as far as the rainfall goes across the area. And you notice the big swirl. The area of low pressure has now finally made its way off towards the east. This has been such a slow mover, but eventually it's going to continue to move off into New England. As that happens, it's taking the rainfall with it first, and then it'll take the cloud cover with it second. So throughout the day today, we are looking at decreasing cloud cover, and by the time we get to the afternoon hours, we should be looking at partly cloudy skies across most of the area, and that'll set us up for a decent stretch of weather, albeit still a little bit below normal from Wednesday afternoon all the way through the day tomorrow. Now, here are those current temperatures. 36 right now in Richmond. 40 is the current number in the metro area from Indy to Greenfield to Martinsville. 41 in Bloomington. 37 is the temperature in Crawfordsville throughout the day. Today, morning clouds, afternoon sunshine. And notice the temperature jump once we get into the sunshine. We'll get close to 60 degrees later on this afternoon. That is below normal. I will say, though, the May sun is strong, or getting stronger, and so 60 and sunshine will feel decent out there. It's not going to be a very terrible day like it was yesterday with the clouds that were around and those showers and temperatures that were hovering in the 40s and 50s. Now, tomorrow, we're looking at temperatures that'll be jumping all the way up into the mid-60s, probably 65 to 70 degrees on average for your highs for the day tomorrow. Mostly sunny skies, then turning partly cloudy. And then as we look ahead into your forecast, another front comes through on Friday with some spotty showers, cooler, 54. Saturday's a sunny day, but a very chilly day. We start off at 32 degrees with some frost possible during the morning hours. And then for Mother's Day, 60 degrees during the afternoon and evening hours. There could be some spotty storms around, but overall, we're going to have plenty of dry conditions for all those mothers out there celebrating with their families during the day on Sunday. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Let's take a look right now at traffic. This is I-65 of you near Fletcher Avenue here in the downtown area. You can see traffic is moving along up to speed both northbound and southbound between the splits. No crashes to report around the metro area at this early hour. So 26 million Americans filed for unemployment in March and April, leaving many people wondering how they're going to pay their bills. If you have a big mortgage or student loan debt, there are some things you can do during the COVID-19 pandemic to protect yourself. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau says some private lenders and states are offering assistance. And if you have loans backed by the government, forbearance or deferment is guaranteed. The Bureau recently rolled out a video on their website with more information on how to help homeowners.
You are entitled to delayed payments, and it's up to 180 days because interest still accrues. But at the same time, there are no additional fees for those late payments or for those delayed payments.
Well, the Bureau says to watch out for scammers. You don't need a third party to get help. Just talk directly to your lender. For more information on what help is available, you can check out the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau's website at consumerfinance.gov/coronavirus. With thousands of Hoosiers facing unemployment and struggling to make those ends meet during this time, we're working to make sure that you get the answers that you need. The Rebound Indiana is connecting you to experts who want to help you make it to the other side of this crisis.
Seek out help. If they need help, don't think you have to go through a crisis alone. Legal services and the clinic, we're here for you if you have legal needs. Obviously, the demand is going to be high, and we need your patience when you reach out to us, but we want to be as responsive as we can be.
Well, tonight, the Neighborhood Christian Legal Clinic is joining RTV6 for a virtual town hall. You can watch live and ask questions through the RTV6 Facebook page. Attorneys will be ready to address unemployment, eviction, debt, and much more. Again, that's tonight at 7:30. The closing of a national big box store led to a boom in business for one Indiana company. Coming up, how our new normal helped business at Bonsai Balloons blow up. We'll be right back after the break.
RTV6, working for you.
Welcome back. As part of our We're Open Indy initiative, RTV6 is working to promote local businesses that are open to serve you during this COVID-19 pandemic. So with all the cancellations and postponements of those big gatherings like conventions, tournaments, weddings, a small company called Bonsai Balloons here in Indianapolis saw an immediate drop in business. But as we settle into this new normal, people are getting more creative and things are looking up for this unique balloon biz.
Obviously, we got significantly impacted, by COVID. But we really weren't prepared for something like this.
Bonsai Balloons is an indie-based business putting a pop of color into your special event. Corporate events, trade shows, weddings, grand openings, and more. But with all those events up in the air due to COVID-19, the wind was knocked out of their projected sales this spring.
We're typically a team of 5. Right now, we're only operating on me and Stephanie, the co-owners.
But as the balloons sat deflated, the phone blew up.
One email came in, then 2 emails came in, and I think a lot of it may have been word of mouth. I don't know. But it was literally getting to the point where it was like 5 to 10 emails a day. Me and Steph looked at each other like, we're going to need to bring at least Megan back.
As big box store Party City shutters for the pandemic.
We absorbed all of it. So where we typically don't do a whole lot of business Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, it's been, 7 to 10 deliveries a day.
2 Zoom weddings, 2 drive-by birthdays.
People have been so creative over the past 3 to 4 weeks. It's just been amazing, and I love it.
Door deliveries, online orders. Hoosiers getting creative from the comfort of their homes.
I can't even stress how grateful we are and our gratitude towards Indianapolis for rallying around us. Honestly, it's been insane.
Social distancing surprises, a demand for helium, and an indie business with your back. Bonsai Balloons is taking the wow factor they bring to corporate events, scaling it down into a bouquet, and leaving it on your doorstep.
To see Indianapolis rally around our company in such a way, we've never delivered this many bouquets in our entire life. It makes us so happy. We just get through it, you know what I mean?
Well, Tyler tells me they hope to keep some of the one-off door delivery business as the state looks to rebound from this pandemic. They expect to have to juggle their business between those big events and now maybe some more residential surprises, and he hopes that leads to more jobs and opportunities as a local business. If you want to surprise someone you love with a balloon bouquet, maybe mom for Mother's Day, a grad, you can find more information on our website, theindychannel.com/open. The time right now is 4:57. Let's check in with Todd and see what we can expect in our Wednesday forecast. Hey, Todd.
All right, Lauren, it's going to be a good day for us today. Once we get to the afternoon hours, we'll have plenty of sunshine. After some clouds this morning and a high of 59 degrees, 65 tomorrow. It's probably the best day in our 7-day planning forecast. Saturday is going to be a bright day, but it is going to be cold. Freeze likely in the morning, around 32 in the city, 20s in the outlying areas, just a few spotty storms on Mother's Day in the afternoon. Finally, the warm up to more seasonal weather will occur just after the 7-day planning forecast as we get to the middle until of next week. The time's 4:57. We're back here on Good Morning Indiana with your news, traffic, and weather. Stay with us. We're back in just a couple minutes.